Welcome to all. So let's continue with a basic commands. So today we will learn some basic commands like W. So now in W, when you are pressing, you will get two output here. Okay. So if you want to see this output in a separate, let's say I'm using a uptime and let me use a who. Okay. So now you can see in W command, you will get same info that is we are getting with a uptime and who command here. Okay, so now let's learn about the uptime first here. So uptime, we are getting these output here, and it is very important interview question. So please make a note what they will ask. They will ask when we are executing uptime command, we are getting this load average. What does mean by this load average? They ask. Okay, so load average means so here I have it documented here. So here now you can see here I have made it here. It is a past 1 minute, past 5 minute, past 15 minute. Okay. So here uptimes give a one line display the following. The current time has log in the system. Okay. So here first line it will give you the just the first thing here. Okay. It's your current time. It is your current time. Login time means last login. Let's say this server is login last 365 days. It's not the system has been not rebooted. Let's say so might be 365 days it will came here. So not right now it is came as a like that. So six three six 365 days, or might be in production server you will see 564 days. Now on real environment you will see the pictures like that. Users. So current users. How many current users are logging? That it will show. And load average 1 minute, 5 minute, and 15 minute. So what does mean by 1 minute and 15 5? It's a past of this of for your CPU, for CPU only. Okay, for CPU only, or waiting for IO input output operation from this. That is the meaning of here. So it is a load average. So here, when your system have a heavy load average, it came as a 80.91, 95.1, like 86.12 on load average. So you will find out like that values here. So so you need to that time tell it's a 1 minute, 5 minutes, and 15 minutes. So what does mean by load average? First, it will show us a CPU utilization related things, or waiting for your I operation from your disk. If we want to check where this statement has been written, so you can go here and you can see you can use a man is a command. We can take a help here uptime. So here you can say system load average, the average of a process that are either in a runnable or in uninterruptible state. A process in a runnable state is either using a CPU or waiting to use the CPU. A process in unique interruptible state is waiting for the some IOs, where some IO who is producing IO, disk is producing IOs, disk is producing process. uh Here it is waiting for a process who is waiting. So disk came in a picture here, CPU came in a picture here. Okay, so it will IO waiting here, waiting to use the CPU. The CPU process is runnable state or either interruptible state. Okay, so process related. So load average are not normalized for the example of CPU in a system. So load average is of one means a single CPU system is load all the time, while on a 4 CPU it means it was idle 75% of the time. So this is a, it is a doc here, so we can see the doc here, and here it will completely mention here system load average for past 1 minute, 5 minute and 15 minute. So that is, so it is here, it is using only disk or CPU here. Okay, it will show related to your load average about your disk or either your CPU who's waiting for a processing, who's waiting for a processing, either the might be your process is in running or waiting for some IO means input output from means suppose uh, it need some data, need to read some data from your disk. Okay, so it will wait some output, some input need from a disk. So that does mean here. So that is the meaning of a uptime, and it's favorite question people will ask so many times. Now I have executed uptime command. Let me execute again. Okay, so now here, so now you can see in mine system, this mine AWS VM is here. It will show 26 days. So last 26 days, my system is up. Okay, and if you want to see a date, if you want to see the date, how we can see the date? We can use a who I hyphen b. So my system was 819, right? And 819. So you can see the last system last boot, when my system was last booted, the time here. This is the here last booted time, date and time. You can see date and time here. Okay, so but if you want to see how many times my system has been booted here, so here this is a current user, current, I'm using only one user here, and it's a current time right now. Okay, so might be wrong. So okay, so it's, sorry, it is not a current time, sorry, this is a current time here. Okay, so here current time and the login time minute it came here, so that is information here. Okay, so here we will get a when our system was last rebooted, and if you want to see all the information when my system was rebooted last, you can use a last reboot and you will get all the history here. Last reboot command, last and reboot command, so you will get all here. Okay, and if I'm using a who, here it will show which username and which terminal. Okay, and time here, date and time here, and from source from where I have taken a console. That is a IP. It's a public IP of my system. It is a public IP. Public IP of